the Majority Whip of the Senate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anne,
for making time to join us. The Senate has apportioned 226 billion to counties. That is certainly much more than what we had last year. I think over 36 billion more. Why do you feel that was necessary, despite the fact that we have seen concerns from the Controller of Budget, the Auditor General, in terms of how counties have been using cash?
I think one of the things that the Senate believes in is that we must ensure services still continue into the county governments. And therefore, as much as we know we have within some of the counties issues of mismanagement, that should not also be the reason of why we cannot continue giving them funds, yet the national government is indeed giving more functions. And within the Constitution, it's very clear that if you devolve the functions, you must devolve with the resources.
I suppose one would simply argue that we'd wait first to see proper accountability from counties in terms of how they use their first tranche of monies that they received last year before one could even possibly consider giving them more.
I think if we want to be fair with our Constitution, then we have to do it also to the national government, because we cannot prove that indeed all the ministries have done well also in terms of what we gave them at the national government. But having said that, I know we have more challenges within the county government, especially challenges of capacity, challenges of even using the same resources due to our own Procurement Act, and therefore we will look at it two ways. One, the mismanagement goes both to the county assembly and the governors themselves. But we have a few governors who have proved with the little resources they've received that indeed people have started appreciating that yes, devolution can work. Yes, we have challenges, it's 1 year. But I'll also say that having been a member or still being a member of the Finance Committee, we've been in the upfront of following up indeed what the counties are doing, and also questioning using the reports that we get. That does not mean now that as a country we must stand and wait. I think what we need to ask ourselves is if we can be able now to start evaluating county per county. And I think the Constitution was very clear that let us not bulk the counties together, which I know the Council of Governors, those who don't want to work have used that to ensure you do not monitor them so much. But we have a few examples. The Machakos governor, I've not seen him much in those meetings of the Council of Governors, but when you go on the ground, you appreciate what he's doing with the little he has. Although, interestingly, the same audit I'm referring to by the Auditor General did point to discrepancies within how Machakos used its funds. So I'm not sure what you're using to peg how well or poorly he performed. But perhaps if I could just get to the question is, the Auditor General's report is there. Did that at all affect your considerations in terms of which county gets what and whether or not one is seen to have been managing its resources prudently or not? One, I think now that we have the county accounts committee headed by Boni Khalwale, very soon he will come out now since they've received the reports, and they'll be able now to say, this county you mismanaged. Depending, there's one interesting thing I always say about Kenyans, that all of us, let us not blame, all of us have one challenge, not doing things right. All of us. So when we talk about the county governments will look at you and say, 50 years the national government has not done this. We are trying to say now, can we do things right? Can we stop pointing fingers that we want to see a county government that transforms Kenya without looking at the national government has been doing mismanagement in this, has been allocating funds that you don't use, then you, after 1 year, you return it to Treasury, then you return, I'm glad you went to that point, because I was just going to go there. The Treasury Secretary, as of accounts audited by March 21st, says more than 48 billion shillings that was allocated in the previous financial year had not been spent by counties. Certainly, one may argue that then, in fact, they deserve 48 billion less. Use the money that you have first, and then make a case for more. And the next question will be, put your statements on the table. Don't just say it by mouth. You might be telling us 48 billion is in an account, yet maybe one county government has already gone through a procurement process. It's only that they have not paid the contractor who is doing anything, or it's part of money that's supposed to be salaries and it's allocated.
So you're doubting that report by the cabinet secretary?
I would wish to see the report fully that states, yes, county government A, you were given this amount, you have paid salaries, you have paid this, but you are unable to finish your money in this. That will be fair for both of them. And that's why we are saying we have been waiting, and the Constitution is clear that do costing of functions. That way, we forget about asking questions, but you look at the costing and you say, this year you receive 15 billion. Why? That's the costing of the functions you have. So until Treasury also comes out and helps us to do the costing.
By moving to Parliament with a statement.
With a statement and the costing. That way you'll help us. When you look at the division of revenue bill now, we are giving them, yes, 226. I can see part of it goes to rural electrification. Part of it goes to all the constituencies to have a youth polytechnic, and then equitable. But then the next question will be, if you do it that way in a bulk manner, you need to tell us which county does not have electricity and which one at least has some percentage of the rural electrification, and therefore it will be very difficult also. Therefore, it's a function which the national government should take responsibility. Even the referral hospitals, level 5. We have counties that have level 5, we have those who don't. If you want now to start looking at it, if you really want to have justice to all those level 5,
health is a devolved function.
It's a devolved function. It would be better when you cost. How many people within, for example, Nyeri region, go to the Nyeri hospital within the other counties? How many people within Kakamega will go to this, or Busia will come to this referral hospital? Same way with Kisii. That way, then you are able to know, Kisii, within your level 5, you need this amount. But if you just put it in a blanket, again, it confuses.
So you would be pro the move? I've heard, I think it's the Kinduri, I beg your pardon, yes, who went ahead and said that he believes that there should be a reworking of the allocation formula, not just purely on the development side, but also factoring in poverty and other indices.
Yes, it will be very important.
What would that look like for you?
For example, now we use the same sort of a formula to get what you give to Turkana. But then today we have to be very frank in all these discussions without being mischief. Then you need to ask Turkana, for example, you received 7 billion, 2013, 2014. Your constituency members have not less than 80 to 90 million per year. In total, we are talking about Turkana maybe had an opportunity to have not less than 8 to 9. We talk about poverty. Is it fair for me, who is a taxpayer, who would have wished to see Turkana not getting into hunger and all that, see them again on TV, that Citizen has gone to bring now people are dying and eating dogs? No, it was very unfair. Then we ask ourselves the next question. Why we allocate this money? Are we allocating looking at the poverty index? Yes. But are we sure when we are implementing that is what we are trying to achieve, that to ensure we raise the livings of those who are within those areas? That's the next question. And that's why we are saying when you look at the equitable shareable fund, where now you look at the poverty index, you need to add more counties. We might have a county in Kembo, for example, and you'll say everyone is rich. But I might go to an area, a constituency, for example, in Deya, where they still use donkeys to bring water and all that. There is a serious problem of poverty there. Yeah.
You spoke about having an honest discussion when it comes to revenue allocation without mischief.
Yes.
But your house is being accused of mischief by discussing the division of revenue bill when you knew it was already before MPs. Why does the Senate need to put its hand in this matter instead of awaiting the MPs to discuss it and then deal with the note that will be passed on to them?
And I think maybe somewhere down the line, people did not understand. Before we came to the 226, I think we've had meetings and the media really created awareness. that we've had meetings, even with the President. The two committees of the finance houses went and sat down and agreed the amount will be 226. And therefore, if you have agreed, the content does not really matter. What matters is the amount. And that's, you remember, that's why even we went to court. We went to court not because of the content, not because you have decided you feel you want to amend this or this. It was the amount.
But why discuss it at all? Why not wait for MPs to finish their process and then it's forwarded to you, as it would?
And it was only on the first reading, meaning you're trying to reduce. Since we are on recess, let us not come and decide to have a 60-day debating on the same bill. Reduce the days so that when we come, and I know we'll be called in for a special sitting after the National Assembly are done, and we will just go the second reading and the debate starts. Or else, if we wait, and it's because of this recess, and even the National Assembly are going back on recess on the 30th of April. They'll come back in June 4th. We'll have finished the two bills, and we'll have... So the thing
no
of
jostling for power?
No, no, no. If it was jostling, power is money, and
we're discussing money, aren't we?
Yes, and right now it's not now.
226
yes,
billion.
and they have agreed it's 226, and the Senate has agreed. So I don't think we'll have any conflict in terms of the amount of power of money.
We'll watch and wait. I thank you for your time.
We've
been speaking to Beatrice Alachi. She's the